Oh, hello and welcome to another LogixOne Zoho Marketplace extension demonstration video. In this video, we're talking about our latest extension, which we're calling LogixOne Validator. And if you've already found the extension, you'll understand what it is and what it does. But just to recap on that, LogixOne Validator connects to a ZeroBounce account to enable you to validate both in a record or a list view or in an individual contact or league, email addresses. So you can select a bunch of email addresses, send them off to ZeroBounce, which is the leading provider of email validation technology, and get back validation results. So I'm going to show you how to install it. Once you've click the plugin, you'll be sent to the install page inside your Zoho CRM environment. And then all you need to do, here's the name of it, LogixOne Validator. You just need to accept these terms and conditions, click continue, and then choose who you want to, which profiles or users you want to select to have access to it. Our suggestion is that you only allow your admins to have access to it. You can allow any of your users to have access to the plugin. But for now, let's just select for admins only, click confirm, and you can see that it's installing. Okay, so there you go. Once that's installed, you'll then be asked to enter your ZeroBounce API key. And so what we're going to do now is jump straight into ZeroBounce and show you where you can grab that from. Okay, so once you're inside your ZeroBounce account, to get your API key is very simple. Just come over here. When you're in the dashboard, come down to the left-hand menu, click API. And then up here, you'll see you have your API keys here. What I'm going to do is generate a new one if you haven't already done so. You just click this little button here, create a new API key, and then just give it a name. Okay, we're just going to call that there, and then make sure it's ticked active. And then you don't need to worry about this. Just click create new key. All right, so the API key has been created. I just need to toggle the visibility here and then double click it and then Control C to copy that, or right click, copy it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now jump back into Zoho CRM and show you where to. Okay, so basically you take that API key there and then you paste that in there. Okay, so you've got your ZeroBounce API key there. And then all you need to do is click save. All right, so basically that's it. You've installed the extension. Now, to utilize it is very simple. All you need to do now is go into either your leads or your contacts module. And you'll notice under your buttons here, you'll have a new button called LogixOne Validator. So all you need to do is click that. Okay, and now you're inside LogixOne Validator. Now, LogixOne Validator is able to automatically validate using ZeroBounce any of your leads or contacts records or any email addresses in them. But what we've also done is enabled you to select different views. So, for example, you might have thousands of email addresses, but you don't want to validate all of them. So what you can do is create a view, as you would any view in Zoho CRM, and then create those and select them. So I'm going to select new this week. All right. And then I've got a couple of other tick boxes here to consider Zoho email status bounced as invalid. So if the email address has already been marked as bounced by Zoho CRM, then automatically it will be ticked as invalid. And we can also exclude any email addresses that have already been marked as invalid. Okay, so probably best just to leave those ticked here. And then all you need to do is click begin validation. And then you can see that it's basically, we have one contact in here in this view, and you can see here the external validation, valid email for this record. Okay, so this email is valid. And you can see here we have tabs across the top. You can sort of categorize them if you like. So if there's any invalid, which is not in this test, or valid here, all right. So in this case, they're all valid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all contacts, all right, and then we're going to run that again. So validator will start. And you can see here that it's counting down the numbers of records that it's doing. Okay, so it's got 24 to go, 23 to go, and so on. It's very important that you do not close this window. Okay, you leave this running. And if you've got a lot of records, this can take some time. So we suggest sort of don't run this on your entire contact list to begin with. Start to break your list of contacts or leads. If you've got thousands of them, create them into different views so that you can run, one view at a time, so that you're not sort of processing too many, because what it's doing is sending each one of them off to ZeroBounce to check, and then ZeroBounce is responding, and then we're taking that ZeroBounce information. All right, so it's basically run the validation, and now let's see here. We've actually got a number of invalid email addresses. So external valid email here does not accept mail, email, unroutable IP address, possible typo, and so on, right? So you can see what this is doing is it's checking each of these email addresses. And now all you need to do is, once it's done this, if you can scroll down, you can see it's got multiple pages. So you might have multiple entries. And also you can show here how many entries you want to see. So let's just show 100 so we can see all of them. And then these are all invalid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tick this little box here to mark them as invalid, and then click mark as invalid, and then confirm that. And then you'll see the status has been updated. And then what I'll do is I'll just close this, and then you'll see here, if I just refresh this, you can see all of the invalid emails that have been marked invalid. We'll just sort that sending. So you can see down here, here's all the email addresses that were marked as invalid, and here's the reason why. Okay, so yeah, it's very simple to use. All it requires is a ZeroBounce account. So in addition to LogixOne Validator being able to validate multiple either lead or contact records in one go, it can also validate email addresses on the fly, or as you edit or create individual emails or leads. Okay, so the use case for this is that your users are creating contacts or leads, and what the LogixOne Validator is doing is validating whether the email addresses created for those new leads or contacts are actually valid or not. So I'll just demonstrate that now. I'll quickly I'm in the contacts. I'll just create a contact here, and we'll just give it a name. And then we'll just put in a dummy email address here. All right, and then we'll just save that. And we'll just wait for a few seconds. And then you can see here, we get the result returned. So it's an invalid email, and here's the invalid email reason. Okay, so if your users are creating email contacts and leads with email addresses on the go, they can quickly validate those, right? And this is really great because what it does, again, is it ensures that when you're sending emails, it's going to get through and you're not going to ruin your deliverability score. Okay, so that's it for LogixOne Validator. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach us at support@clearscope.solutions. That information will be in the description of the video down below. We'll be happy to help you out. If you get stuck installing it, it's pretty simple. But if you'd like any more Zoho CRM customization, or have any questions regarding Zoho CRM or any other Zoho product, please feel free to reach out to us. Okay, thanks for watching.